I wasn't a binge drinker in the past. I used to drink all the time. What it did to me was it turned me into Dr. Jekyll. I was like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Christmas Eve of 2001, and Christmas Eve. And I remember I was drinking all day. I had some friends come over and they brought liquor. I actually had a prescription of a benzodiazepine, which was Xanax, so I was taking both of them. I was taking a bunch of those, and the last thing I remember is going into my room and just closing the door, and I was out. The next thing I remember was my dogs, they wanted to go outside. So I got up, and I opened my door, and there was nobody out in the living room. I went out to let my dogs out, and there was police cars all in the back of my, in the alley. One of the detectives came up to me and asked me if I lived there, and I said, well, of course I do. What's going on? Turns out, in my pass out, in letting certain people into my house, there was a murder committed in my house. I remember them questioning me. I couldn't tell them anything. I told them the truth to the best of my ability. Well, anyway, it turned out that it was my ex-boyfriend, and thank God that he was man enough to say that I had nothing to do with it. But I sat in jail for 3 months. I went from murder 1 to murder 2 to conspiracy to commit murder, and then finally I had to plead to something, and it was false reporting, $120 fine. So, I mean, that experience in itself was horrible. But when I got out of jail, I started drinking because I didn't know how to deal with it. But thinking of that is, I could have spent the rest of my life in prison for a crime that I didn't commit. That time was, I couldn't believe I was in handcuffs and I was charged with first-degree murder and it was insane. But I've spent times in jail because I've been belligerent in bars. I've spent time in detoxes. I've actually been homeless a couple times in Colorado. After that incident, when I got out of jail, I lost my house and they took my dogs away. I started hanging out with the street drinkers over by the Platte River in Colorado. And so I started living on the side of the river for, I think it was about 6 months. I didn't have a place to go. I was just as sick as them, and I was running signs, which was like the lowest thing I could have ever done because it's against my values. And I would do that just to get a drink. I was so sick. I would ask people for money. I would go to the Home Depot and panhandle so I could get a drink. When I stop drinking is when I run out of money, or I end up in jail, or I end up in the hospital. I'm the type that drinks a half a gallon of whiskey a day, and I don't eat. So it was going to kill me soon. I mean, it's not who I am. It's just very demoralizing what happens to me. I came out of that somehow, and I don't know, throughout my journey, throughout my life with this problem, I've always found some kind of strength within me that it wasn't over for me, even though I didn't know how to do it.
Do you think you can go back to casual drinking? Or?
No, I know I can't. I've tested the waters too many times. I know that it's not possible. It's a fact that when you go back out after 10 years of being sober, you pick up where you left off. So it is a progressive disease. It just hibernates. So it's something I'm going to have to work on for the rest of my life. And today I know that I want that. So it's like I'm going back to Alaska, and I'm starting a whole new journey, because the life I had before I came here, it wasn't a life. But through hard work and determination on my part and with the professionals here, they have opened up my eyes to another way to be. And I couldn't speak highly of this program. It's helped me, and if it's helped me, I'm pretty hardcore alcoholic, and I don't learn very quick. Sovereign Health is a great place for recovery because you learn so much more than not drinking or not using drugs. You learned a whole gamut of, thinking and accepting yourself and relaxation. And I was getting acupuncture, which is excellent for tension. I remember when I first came in, and I told my acupuncturist, there's no way I'm ever going to relax. And he said, oh no? I said, no, I've tried this before. I said, I think I was born this way. I relaxed. I was like, wait a minute, I relaxed. For the first time in my life, I actually relaxed and let go.
How was the feeling?
It was spiritual. It was incredible. It was like, I said I couldn't do this, but here I am doing it. As a matter of fact, the other day, when I saw my doctor, I said, hey, look at my forehead. And he said, what did you get, Botox? I was like, no. He said, oh, you got happy, huh? I used to have these amazing frown lines. I'm interested to see the picture when I came in and the picture when I leave, because my face was so different. I don't have those wrinkles anymore. It's smoothed out, and that's all because I've relaxed. And I'm gonna miss the people here. I'm gonna miss all my therapists, all my counselors. Shelly, the receptionist, she's wonderful. Everybody here is just really, really wonderful. My mind gets flooded. My mind's getting flooded with all the goodness, and there's just so much. I'm getting my driver's license back. I haven't had it for 14 months. That case was dismissed, but I still lost my license because of drinking, of course. It came to my attention that I had a good brain and I was intelligent, but my fear kept me throughout my life from progressing to do what I always wanted to do, and I've always thought about going to school. My brain is a muscle, and thank God, doing all the alcohol, drinking all the alcohol I have done, to my body, I still have a good brain. But I can retrain the way I think, and I never thought that possible before. I haven't been in school since 1986, but I'm looking forward to this journey, in sobriety and in life. I would not have thought it would have gotten me this far. I was skeptical, of course, and where I'm at today is a place I want to be, because I'm starting a whole new life, and I couldn't recommend this place more. I'm a success story already as far as I'm concerned. Sovereign Health has brought me a life.